Hello, friends. Did you know that nearly 80% of those who watch my videos aren't subscribed? If you enjoy the content, I'd truly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Also, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your interaction not only supports the channel's growth, but also helps these stories reach more people. Thank you all for being here. By the way, where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. The fluorescent lights hummed their endless drone at 3:17 a.m. I'd been staring at the same coffee stain on my desk for the past hour, watching it spread slowly across a stack of old call logs I should have filed weeks ago. The dispatch console glowed blue in the darkness, casting shadows that made the empty room feel larger than it was during the day. Outside, the first snowflakes of what the weather service was calling the storm of the decade had started to fall. My name is Marla Hensley. I've worked this job for 18 years and I thought I'd heard everything. The drunk dials, the pocket calls, the genuine emergencies, and the pranks. You develop an ear for it after a while. You can tell within the first 3 seconds whether someone really needs help or whether they're just lonely, scared of the dark, or testing to see if 911 still works. The phone rang. Line 2. I set down my lukewarm coffee and pulled on my headset. 911, what's your emergency? There was breathing on the other end. Slow, measured breathing. Not panicked, not drugged. Just careful. Hello, this is 911. Do you need help? Someone's outside my house. The voice was male, probably mid-40s. Educated, the kind of voice you'd expect from a high school teacher or a librarian. Steady, but with an edge of something underneath. They're saying my name. I pulled up the caller ID. Trevor Slade. Address showed as 4382 Pinewood Drive, out on the rural route past the old mill. I knew that area. Nothing but farmland and woods for miles. The kind of place where your nearest neighbor is a 10-minute drive. Mr. Slade, are you safe inside your home right now? Yes. All the doors are locked, windows too, but I can hear them. Can you describe what you're hearing? A pause. In the background, I could hear wind. The storm was picking up out there. A whisper. Just my name, Trevor, over and over. Right outside my bedroom window. I flagged the call and started typing notes. Is anyone else in the house with you? No, I live alone. Have for 3 years now, since the divorce. Okay, Trevor, I'm going to send someone out to check the property. Can you stay on the line with me? Please. I radioed for Dale Morrissey, one of our patrol officers who lived closest to that area. He acknowledged, but his response was laced with static. The weather was already messing with signals. Dispatch, I'm about 20 minutes out. Roads are getting bad fast. 20 minutes. I settled in to keep Trevor calm. Trevor, have you seen anyone? Any movement outside the windows? No, it's too dark. The porch light's on, but it doesn't reach far. Just snow, lots of snow now. That's good. Keep your lights on inside. Keep talking to me. When did you first hear the voice? About, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. I was reading in bed, couldn't sleep. Then I heard it. Faint at first. I thought maybe it was the wind, you know? But wind doesn't say your name. The way he said it made the hair on my neck stand up. There was no hysteria in his voice, no dramatics. Just flat, exhausted certainty. Has anything like this happened before? No, never. I mean, I hear animals sometimes. Coyotes, raccoons in the trash. But this is different. Through the phone, I heard it then. Faint, distant, but clear enough. Trevor. It was almost melodic. Drawn out. Not quite human in its cadence, but using human sounds. Did you hear that? Trevor's voice was tight now. I heard something. It could be wind through the trees, Trevor. Old houses make strange sounds, especially in storms. I know my house. This isn't the house. 15 minutes until Dale arrived. I kept him talking, asking about his work, his routine, anything to keep his mind occupied. He taught biology at the community college, lived a quiet life, no enemies he could think of, no recent conflicts. Then the line crackled with interference. "Trevor, you still there?" "Yeah, but the lights just flickered." "Power lines are probably icing over. Do you have flashlights?" "In the kitchen, I should—" The whisper came again, louder this time. Clear enough that I heard it through the phone without straining. "Trevor, let me in. Trevor." Jesus Christ. His breathing quickened. "It's right outside the window now, right fucking there. Trevor, stay calm. Don't approach the window. Officer Morrissey is 10 minutes away. I can see a shadow. There's someone standing there. In the snow, just standing." "Can you describe them?" I can't see clearly. It's too dark. But they're tall, really tall. And they're not moving, just standing in the snow. And it's coming down so hard, but I can see the outline and... Static burst across the line. When it cleared, Trevor was still talking, but his words were rushed now. "Gone. It's gone. There's nothing there. No footprints, nothing. The snow is smooth where it was standing. How is that possible?" "Maybe you saw a shadow from the trees, Trevor. The storm. I know what I saw." Dale's voice came through my radio. "Dispatch, I'm pulling up to 4382 Pinewood now. Heavy snow. Visibility is about 20 feet. Copy that. Caller is inside. Reported someone outside his bedroom window on the east side of the house." I stayed on the line with Trevor while Dale got out of his patrol car. Through the radio, I could hear the wind, the crunch of snow under boots. "Dispatch, I'm checking the perimeter now, east side. There's a window here, second floor." "Affirmative," Trevor said, loud enough for me to relay. "Second floor, master bedroom." "Sir, I don't see any footprints in the snow. No disturbances at all. Snow's about 4 inches deep already, and it's all smooth." Trevor was silent for a moment. Then, "Check under the window, please." More crunching footsteps. Dale's breathing through the radio. "Dispatch, there's something here." My hand tightened on the pen. "What is it?" "Looks like marks in the snow, not footprints. More like something was dragged. Or, hell, I don't know. It's weird. Goes from under the window back towards the tree line." "Can you follow it?" "Negative. Too far into the woods and I'm not equipped for a search in this weather. I'm going to do a full perimeter check and then make contact with the resident." 5 minutes later, Dale was at Trevor's front door. I could hear the conversation through both the phone and the radio. "Mr. Slade, Officer Morrissey. Everything looks secure out here. No signs of forced entry, no one on the property. But you saw the marks. You said there were marks." "Yes, sir. Could be an animal. Deer sometimes bed down near houses for windbreak. Deer don't whisper my name." Dale's voice was patient, professional. "Have you been feeling stressed lately, sir? Getting enough sleep?" I heard the defeat in Trevor's laugh. "You think I'm crazy. I think the storm is playing tricks. Wind through ice can make sounds that seem like voices. I've heard it before." They talked for a few more minutes. Dale recommended Trevor call if anything else happened. As he left, he radioed back to me. "Dispatch, I'm clearing the scene. Resident is safe. Probably just storm sounds." "Copy that." "Thanks, Dale." I stayed on the line with Trevor for another few minutes. "I'm not crazy, Marla." He'd heard my name when Dale mentioned it. "I know what I heard." "I believe you heard something, Trevor. Get some rest. Call if you need anything." After he hung up, I made my notes, logged the time, the response, Dale's report. Standard procedure. Then I noticed something odd. The timestamp on Trevor's call showed 3:17 a.m., but according to the system log, Dale had arrived at the scene at 3:52 a.m. That part was right. But the duration of the call showed only 8 minutes, not the 35 minutes we'd actually been on the phone. I checked my watch against the dispatch console clock. They matched, checked the phone system. Everything looked normal. Probably just a glitch. The next night, same shift, I was filling out paperwork when the phone rang. Line 2 again. My stomach dropped before I even saw the caller ID. 911, what's your emergency? Marla, it's Trevor Slade, it's happening again. I checked the clock. 3:17 a.m. exactly. Trevor, what's happening? The voice. The same thing. It started about 5 minutes ago. I didn't want to call, but Trevor, open the door. Trevor. I heard it clearly through the phone. That same wrong cadence. I'm sending someone right now. Stay inside. Stay calm. I radioed for Dale, but he was 40 minutes away, dealing with a multi-car pileup on the interstate. The storm had gotten worse. I sent another unit, Officer Barnes, but he was 30 minutes out minimum. Trevor, help is coming. Can you see anything outside? No, it's snowing even harder than last night, but I can hear it circling the house. The voice is coming from different sides. First the bedroom window, then the kitchen. Now it's at the back door. Don't open any doors. I won't, but Marla, it knows my name. It knows I'm alone. How does it know? I had no answer for that. The voice came again, and this time there were words besides his name. Trevor. So cold out here. Let me in, please. It sounds almost human now, Trevor whispered. More human than last night, like it's learning. The line crackled with static. When it cleared, Trevor was gasping. What happened? The doorknob, the back door, it's turning. Someone's trying to open it. Is it locked? Yes, but, oh God, the deadbolt is turning. It's unlocking by itself. Trevor, get to a room with a door you can lock now. I heard him running, heard a door slam, heard the click of a lock. I'm in the bathroom, second floor. But Marla, if it can unlock the back door, what's going to stop it from... The bathroom doorknob rattled. Trevor's breathing was ragged now. It's in the house. It's in my fucking house. Officer Barnes is 15 minutes away. Stay quiet. Trevor, I just want to talk. Trevor. The voice was right outside the bathroom door now. I could hear it clearly through the phone. It sounded like someone speaking through water. Words distorted but understandable. Don't respond, I said. Don't make a sound. For 5 minutes, nothing. Just Trevor's breathing and the sound of wind outside, then footsteps, heavy, moving away down the hall, down the stairs. I think it's leaving, Trevor breathed. Stay where you are until the officer arrives. But the footsteps came back. Up the stairs, faster now. The bathroom door shook with impact. Trevor! Not a whisper anymore. A shout. Angry. Trevor was praying under his breath. Words I couldn't make out. Another impact. The doorframe cracked. Marla? The line went dead. Trevor? Trevor? I tried calling back. No answer. Barnes arrived 12 minutes later. He found the back door standing open, snow blowing into the kitchen. No footprints leading in or out. The bathroom door on the second floor had been broken from the outside. Wood splintered, hanging on one hinge. Trevor Slade was gone. No blood, no signs of struggle except the broken door. His phone was on the bathroom floor. Battery dead. His coat was still hanging by the front door. His car was in the garage. They searched for 3 days, but the storm had buried everything. No tracks, no evidence, nothing. I filed my report. The timestamp on Trevor's second call showed 3:17 a.m., duration 8 minutes. But I'd been on the phone with him for 27 minutes. I knew because I'd been watching the clock, counting down until Barnes would arrive. I took 2 days off. Couldn't face the dispatch console. Couldn't stop hearing that voice through the phone. Trevor. On my first night back, I came in early, checked all the equipment. Everything was functioning normally. The IT department said there was no explanation for the timestamp errors. Probably just a software bug they'd need to patch. At 3:15 a.m., I made myself a fresh cup of coffee. Tried not to watch the clock. The phone rang at 3:17. Line 2. My hand shook as I reached for it. 911, what's your emergency? Someone's outside my house. The same voice, the same careful, educated tone. Trevor Slade. They're saying my name. I pulled up caller ID. 4382 Pinewood Drive. Trevor? My voice cracked. Is this Trevor Slade? Yes. How did you... Have I called before? I checked the system. According to the records, this was his first call to 911. Ever. What's the date, Trevor? What? It's February 18th. Why does that matter? Someone's outside my house saying my name. February 18th. The first call had been February 18th. The second was February 19th. Today was February 20th. Trevor, listen to me very carefully. You need to leave your house right now. Get in your car and drive to the police station in town. What? No. I just need someone to come check. Leave now. But he wouldn't. He was calm, rational. He didn't understand. How could he? This was his first time. I sent Dale out again, radioed him to hurry, to get there faster. Dispatch, I'm 20 minutes out. Roads are still bad from the storm. 20 minutes. I stayed on the line with Trevor. Tried to warn him, but he thought I was confused. Thought I had him mixed up with another caller. The whisper started. Trevor, do you hear that? He asked. Yes. What should I do? I wanted to tell him to run, wanted to scream at him to break a window and climb out if he had to, but he wouldn't. I knew he wouldn't, because he hadn't. Dale arrived 20 minutes later, found the same marks in the snow, gave the same reassurances. I watched the timestamp. 3:17 a.m. Duration, 8 minutes. But I'd been on the phone with him for 35 minutes. I don't work overnights anymore. I requested a transfer to day shift and they granted it. They think it's PTSD from the Trevor Slade disappearance. Maybe it is. They never found him, the case is still open. But sometimes, when I'm training new dispatchers, I walk them through the old call logs. I show them the 3 calls from Trevor Slade, all placed on the same date, February 18th. All at exactly 3:17 a.m., all lasting exactly 8 minutes. But I was there for all 3, and each one was different. The first time, Dale arrived and found nothing. Trevor was fine. The second time, something got into the house. Trevor disappeared. The third time, I tried to warn him, tried to change it. But the call log shows what really happened, what always happens. At 3:17 a.m. on February 18th, Trevor Slade called 911. He reported someone outside his house. Officer Dale Morrissey responded. No evidence of an intruder was found. Trevor Slade was advised to call back if the situation changed. 8 minutes, and somewhere, in some version of that night, he's still calling. And each time the thing outside his window is getting closer to the door. I don't know what happens if I answer again. If there's a 4th call, a 5th, a 100th. I don't know if I'm remembering different versions of the same night, or if I'm the only one who remembers what really happened. All I know is that I changed my shift schedule, because I can't be there at 3:17 a.m. anymore. I can't answer line 2. And sometimes, late at night, when I'm home alone and the wind is blowing, I hear it, faint, distant, but clear. Marla, my name, in that same wrong cadence, learning. The AC unit rattled its death throes somewhere above my head, spitting out air that smelled like old pennies and mildew. I'd put in 3 work orders about it, but maintenance kept saying it was on the list. Everything was on the list. The coffee machine that only dispensed lukewarm brown water. The chair that squeaked every time I leaned back. The flickering light over Station 3 that had been doing its seizure-inducing dance for 6 months. My name is Jonah Carver, and I'd been dispatching for 7 years. Long enough to know that the worst calls never come when you're ready for them. They come during the dead hours, when you're halfway through a stale sandwich and thinking about whether you remembered to pay your electric bill. It was 3:48 a.m. when my screen lit up with an incoming call. The number showed as local, but the address made me pause. 2847 Millbrook Lane. I knew that address. Everyone in the county knew it. The Ashworth place. 911, what's your emergency? Heavy breathing. Not panicked, exactly. More like someone who'd been running. Hello, I tried again. This is 911, can you hear me? I need help. A woman's voice, older, maybe late 50s. Hoarse, like she'd been crying or screaming. I'm at 2847 Millbrook Lane and She stopped. In the background I heard something. A wet sound. Like someone dragging something heavy across tile. Ma'am, what's your name? Nadine Wexler. I typed the name into the system. No prior calls, no outstanding warrants. Clean. Nadine, you said you're at 2847 Millbrook Lane? Yes. That property has been abandoned for 3 years. Can you verify your location? I know it's abandoned, that's why She stopped again. The dragging sound was louder now. Closer. Please, I need someone to come. Now. What's your emergency? Are you injured? No, I'm not injured, but there's something wrong with this house. I came here to... God, this is going to sound insane. I came here to take photos. I'm a real estate photographer. The bank hired me to document the property before they list it. Real estate photographer. At 3:48 a.m. You photograph houses in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep, okay? I've been having insomnia and I thought I'd get a head start on tomorrow's shoot. I have a key, I have permission, I'm not trespassing. Her words came faster, defensive. But when I got inside, the door locked behind me, and I can hear something moving upstairs. Is someone else in the house with you? I don't know. I don't think so. But that sound, it's not normal. It's not footsteps. It's like something being pulled across the floor. Something heavy and wet. I flagged the call and started typing notes. Possible intruder, possible mental health crisis, possible drugs. With the Ashworth Place's history, it could be squatters or addicts using it as a shooting gallery. Nadine, where in the house are you right now? Kitchen, ground floor. I tried the back door, but it won't open. The windows either. They're painted shut or swollen or I don't know, but I can't get them open. Okay, stay where you are. I'm sending units to your location. Can you stay on the line with me? Yes, please don't hang up. I radioed for the nearest patrol car and medical. EMT Brody Kincaid was on duty, and he acknowledged immediately. 10 minutes out. I settled in to keep Nadine calm. Tell me about the house, Nadine. When you came in, did you see anyone? Any signs of recent activity? No, it's empty. Furniture covered in dust sheets, mail piled up in the corner from before the owners left. Everything looks like it's been sitting untouched for years. But you heard something upstairs. Yes, right after I locked the front door. She paused. Wait, I didn't lock it. I just closed it and it locked on its own. The deadbolt turned. The hair on my arm stood up. Nadine, old houses have warped wood. Doors settle. The lock probably just... The dragging sound came through the phone, loud and clear. It lasted about 5 seconds, then stopped. Did you hear that? Her voice was barely a whisper now. I heard it. Stay quiet. Help is 8 minutes away. Silence on the line. I could hear her breathing, quick and shallow. Could hear the old house settling, wood creaking, wind against windows. Then footsteps overhead, slow, deliberate, moving from one end of the second floor to the other. It's walking now, Nadine breathed. Whatever it is, it's walking. Can you see the stairs from where you are? Yes. They're right outside the kitchen doorway. Watch them. Tell me if you see anything. A minute passed, 2. The footsteps stopped. Nadine? It's at the top of the stairs. I can see a shadow on the wall. Something standing there. Can you describe it? I can't see it directly. Just the shadow. It's tall, too tall. The ceiling on the second floor is only 8 feet, but the shadow is reaching higher than that. Shadows can distort, Nadine. The angle of it's coming down the stairs. I heard it through the phone. Footsteps. But wrong. Too many of them. Like someone taking 2 steps at once, or like multiple people walking in perfect synchronization. Nadine, get out of the kitchen. Find another room. Lock yourself in. There's a pantry. I heard her move. Heard a door open, heard it close and lock. Her breathing was ragged now. I'm in the pantry. It's small. God, it's so dark in here. You have your phone light, right? Yes, but I don't want to turn it on. What if it sees the light under the door? Nadine, there's probably a homeless person or a squatter in the house. They're just trying to scare you away. The EMTs will be there in 5 minutes. This isn't a person, Jonah. She'd heard my name from my greeting. People don't move like that. And the smell, I can smell it now, like standing water. Like a pond that's been sitting in the summer heat. It's wrong. The dragging sound started again, right outside the pantry door, by the sound of it. Nadine made a small broken sound in her throat. Don't move, I said. Don't make a sound. The dragging circled the kitchen. I could hear it clearly now through the phone. A wet, sliding sound, like someone pulling a soaked tarp across linoleum. Then it stopped. Silence. Nadine's breathing was the only sound. Then 3 knocks on the pantry door. Sharp. Precise. Jonah, Nadine whispered. I didn't tell anyone my name when I came in. I didn't say a word. How does it know I'm in here? 3 more knocks. Harder this time. Through the phone, I heard a voice, muffled, distorted, but speaking. Nadine, open the door. Nadine, how does it know my name? I had no answer. The EMTs arrived 6 minutes later. Brody Kincaid radioed in as they approached. Dispatch, we're at 2D847 Millbrook. Front door is closed. No lights on inside. Approaching now. Be advised, caller is hiding in the pantry on the ground floor. Reports possible intruder. Copy. I stayed on the line with Nadine. They're here. You're safe now. But she wasn't responding. I could hear her breathing, but she wasn't speaking. Nadine? Through the phone. I heard the EMTs enter the house. Heard them calling out. Hello? This is County EMT. Anyone here? Nadine still wasn't speaking. Nadine, can you hear me? A whisper, finally. It's standing outside the door. I can see the shadow underneath. It's not moving, just standing there. The front door opened easily for them, from the outside. When they got inside, Brody and his partner and Nadine were standing in the front hallway, looking shaken. The doors that had been locked from the inside were now simply doors, working normally. "I don't understand," Brody said into his radio. "They were locked. I swear they were locked." The fire captain did a full inspection. Found no structural issues, no warped frames, nothing that would prevent the doors from opening. "Old house," he said with a shrug. "Sometimes they settle weird." But that didn't explain the doorknobs turning without the doors opening, or the deadbolt that had locked itself, or the wet, dragging sound. Nadine refused to go back to County General. She sat in the ambulance wrapped in a blanket, staring at the house. "There's something in there," she said, when I called her phone to check in. "Something that doesn't want to be alone." "Nadine, the house was searched top to bottom. There's nothing, not on our floor." "What?" The dragging sound. It wasn't horizontal, it was vertical, like something being pulled up through the ceiling or down through the floor. I felt cold despite the stuffy warmth of the dispatch center. "The house has a basement," Nadine continued. "I saw the door when I was in the kitchen, but no one checked it. They only searched the 2 floors above ground." I relayed this to the fire captain. He wasn't happy about going back in, but he did it. The basement door was in the kitchen, just like Nadine said. It was painted shut, like it hadn't been opened in years. They had to use a pry bar to break the seal. The stairs led down into darkness. The captain went first, flashlight cutting through dust motes. "Dispatch, we're in the basement. It's unfinished. Concrete floor, stone walls. Mostly empty except for..." He stopped. "Except for what?" "There's water on the floor, a lot of it, like something flooded down here." "Is there a pipe leak?" "No visible pipes, and the water's not coming from anywhere. It's just sitting here, in a pool." "How deep?" "Few inches, maybe." "But here's the weird part. It's only in the center of the room. Doesn't spread to the walls. Just sits in this perfect circle." Through the radio, I heard him walking through the water. Heard the splash of his boots. Then he stopped. "Captain, there are drag marks in the water, leading to the far wall." "Drag marks from what?" "I don't know. They're too wide to be from a person. And they're fresh. The water's still moving, rippling, like something just passed through it." He approached the far wall. I heard his breathing change. "Dispatch, there's a door here. Looks like it leads to a sub-basement or a crawl space. It's open about an inch." Don't go in there," I said, breaking protocol. Dispatchers don't give orders to emergency responders, but something in my gut was screaming, "I'm just going to look." I heard him reach for the door, heard it swing open with a long, rusty creak. Then nothing. "Captain, report." Silence. "Captain, respond." Through the radio, I heard breathing. Heavy. Wet. But it wasn't the captain's breathing, it was something else. Then the radio cut to static. The other firefighters rushed down to the basement. They found the captain standing in front of the open door, flashlight pointed into the darkness beyond. He wasn't moving, just standing there, staring. When they touched his shoulder, he snapped out of it, looked around, disoriented. "What happened?" they asked him. I don't know. I opened the door and then..." "Nothing. What time is it?" He'd been standing there for 4 minutes. He had no memory of it. They pulled him out of the basement, got him outside. He sat on the bumper of the fire truck, shaking despite the warm night air. "There's something in there," he told me later, when I called to follow up. "In that space behind the door. I don't remember seeing it, but I remember the feeling. Like being watched by something that's been alone for a very, very long time." The house was condemned the next day. The bank withdrew it from listing. Too many safety issues, they said. Structural problems with the basement. But Nadine told me the real reason when she called me a week later. I went back, she said. I couldn't help it. I had to know. Nadine, I stood outside in the yard, and I listened at exactly 3:48 a.m., the same time I called you. What did you hear? A phone ringing, inside the house, ringing and ringing, and when it stopped I heard someone answer it. A woman's voice, hoarse, scared, saying, "I need help. I'm at 2847 Millbrook Lane, and that was your voice. You were hearing a recording of, no, Jonah, because I heard myself answer. I heard myself say things I didn't say the first time, asking for different help, giving a different name. And I heard that wet dragging sound, and the voice calling the name I gave, not Nadine. A different name. What are you saying?" "I'm saying that call didn't start with me. I'm saying someone else called from that house at 3:48 a.m. before I did. Someone else got trapped, and someone else before them, and the house just keeps replaying it. Keeps trying to get help, but the help never comes in time." I checked the call logs. She was right. 2847 Millbrook Lane. 3:48 a.m. Calls going back 7 years before the house was abandoned. Same time, different names, different voices, all reporting something in the house, all getting trapped. All of them marked in the system as resolved, no emergency found. The last call before Nadine's was a man named Robert something. I couldn't make out the last name. 3 years ago. I looked him up. Missing person. Last seen entering the Ashworth house to do an inspection for the bank. Never came out. I tried to trace the other names, but the recordings were corrupted. Just static and that wet dragging sound. I wanted to believe it was a system glitch, data corruption, files getting cross-referenced. But 2 nights ago, at 3:48 a.m., the phone rang. Line 4, 2847 Millbrook Lane. I stared at it for 30 seconds before answering. 911, what's your emergency? Heavy breathing, not panicked. More like someone who'd been running. Hello? A man's voice, young, maybe early 20s. I need help. I'm at 2847 Millbrook Lane, and I hung up. I flagged it as a prank call, logged it and moved on. But I know I'll see it again. Next week, next month, next year. Same address, same time, different voice. Because the house is still there, still standing, still empty, and something inside is still dragging itself across wet floors, still learning names, still calling for help, and maybe, just maybe, it's not asking us to save whoever's inside. Maybe it's asking us to send more. The night started quiet. Too quiet for a Saturday, but I wasn't complaining. I'd worked dispatch long enough to know that quiet nights had a way of going sideways fast, but until they did, I was perfectly happy to catch up on my backlog of incident reports. My name is Risa Dameron, 9 years on the job, and I developed a reputation for staying calm no matter what came through the line. Domestic violence, cardiac arrest, car wrecks. I'd handled them all with the same level professional tone. My supervisor said I could talk down a hurricane if I needed to. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting their sickly green glow across my workstation. It was 2:33 a.m., the graveyard shift. Just me and Tom covering the whole county, and Tom was on his break, probably sneaking a cigarette out back. When the phone rang, I answered without looking at the screen. Muscle memory. 911, what's your emergency? I need to report an accident. The voice was male, maybe mid-30s, calm and collected. The kind of caller who gives you the facts without the panic. Those were usually the easiest calls. What kind of accident, sir? Car accident, single vehicle. I hit a deer on Route 47, about 2 miles past the Hickory Creek Bridge. Are you injured? No, I'm fine, but my car's not drivable. Front end is pretty much destroyed. I pulled up the map, located the area. Rural road, no streetlights, surrounded by state forest on both sides. "What's your name, sir?" "Ellery Knox." As I typed the name, I noticed something odd. The voice sounded like it was coming from two places at once. Not an echo exactly. More like two people saying the same words at exactly the same time, but in slightly different tones. One clearer, one deeper, and more resonant. I adjusted my headset, thinking it was feedback. "Mr. Knox, can you describe your exact location?" "I'm standing next to my vehicle. There's a mile marker here, says 47.3. But as he spoke, I heard it again. That doubling, like stereo speakers slightly out of sync. "Sir, is someone else with you?" "No, I'm alone." The second voice said it too, perfectly synchronized but distinctly different. Almost hollow. "Mr. Knox, I'm having some audio issues. Can you hear me clearly?" "Yes, I can hear you fine." Both voices, same words, same timing. I flagged the call and sent the information to Deputy Shaw Bramlett, who was patrolling that area. He acknowledged and said he was about 15 minutes out. "Help is on the way, Mr. Knox. Are you in a safe location, off the road?" "I'm on the shoulder. The car's mostly in the ditch." "Good, stay there. Keep your flashers on if they're still working." "They are." I settled in for the wait, keeping him on the line. Standard procedure for rural accidents. You keep the caller talking until help arrives. People can go into shock without realizing it. And the last thing you want is someone wandering into traffic. "Tell me about the deer, Mr. Knox. Did it run off, or is it still on the road?" There was a pause. In that pause, I heard something strange. The two voices weren't paused at exactly the same time. One stopped a fraction of a second before the other. "I don't see it anymore." Clear voice. "It must have run off." Deeper voice. They were separating. "Mr. Knox, are you using a phone with some kind of voice filter or app?" "No, just my regular cell phone. Why?" "Your voice sounds doubled, like you're speaking through two phones at once. I can only hear myself normally. Maybe it's the connection. Maybe. But cell connection issues didn't usually create that kind of precise duplication. I ran a diagnostic on my equipment. Everything showed green, no problems on my end. "What do you do for a living, Mr. Knox?" Keep him talking, keep him focused. "I'm a sound engineer, freelance. I work on podcasts mostly, audio editing." The voices were separating more now. I could hear distinct gaps between when each one spoke the same words. "Sound engineer. So you'd notice if your voice sounded strange, right?" "Of course. And I'm telling you, I sound normal to myself." But he didn't sound normal to me. Not anymore. "Mr. Knox, I want you to do something for me. Say your full name. Slowly. Ellery Knox." The clear voice said it first. Then, about half a second later, the deeper voice repeated it. "Ellery Knox." Like an echo, but wrong. The echo was too precise, too deliberate. "Did you hear that?" I asked. "That delay?" I didn't hear anything unusual. Deputy Shaw's voice came through my radio. "Dispatch, I'm approaching mile marker 47.3. I can see the vehicle, sedan in the ditch, flashers on. No other vehicles in sight." "Copy that. Caller should be standing near the vehicle." Through the phone, I heard Shaw's patrol car pulling up. Heard the engine shut off, the door open. "Mr. Knox, the deputy is there. He's going to help you." But Ellery didn't respond. Through the phone, I heard Shaw calling out, "Sir, Ellery Knox?" "I'm Deputy Bramlett." No response from Ellery. Through the radio, Shaw said, "Dispatch, I don't see anyone. The vehicle is here, flashers on, but there's no one in or around it." He should be right there. He said he was standing by the car. Through the phone, I could still hear Ellery breathing, or both Ellerys breathing. The two sets of breaths were slightly out of sync now, creating an unsettling rhythm. "Mr. Knox, can you see the deputy? He's right there." "I see him." Clear voice. "He's walking toward the car." Deeper voice. The gap between the two voices was growing. Now it was almost a full second. "Mr. Knox, wave your hand or something. Let him know where you are." Through the radio, Shaw. "Dispatch. There are footprints in the mud leading away from the vehicle, heading into the tree line. Looks like someone walked into the forest." Negative. Caller states he's standing by the vehicle. Through the phone, "I haven't moved." Clear voice. "I've been standing in the same spot this whole time." Deeper voice. The hair on my neck stood up. "Shaw, can you see anyone matching the caller's description? Male, mid-30s? Negative. There's no one here, but these footprints are fresh. Deep impressions, like someone running." "Mr. Knox, did you walk into the woods at any point?" "No." Clear voice. "I told you, I've been standing still." Deeper voice. Shaw's radio clicked. "Dispatch, I'm following the footprints. They're heading pretty deep into the forest. Whoever made them was moving fast. Be careful, Shaw." I listened through both the phone and the radio as Shaw tracked through the underbrush. His flashlight beam cutting through darkness, his breathing steady and controlled. Through the phone, Ellery's breathing continued. Both versions, now clearly distinct. One set fast and shallow, the other slow and deep. "Mr. Knox, talk to me. What's happening?" I can see the deputy's flashlight. Clear voice. "He's moving away from the road." Deeper voice. "Into the trees." Both voices. But Shaw was reporting something different. "Dispatch, these prints are strange. They start normal, human-sized, but they're getting longer, wider. Like whoever was walking started stretching." "Stretching?" I don't know how else to describe it. The stride length is increasing with each step, but not like someone running. More like their legs are getting longer. Through the phone. "He's getting close now." Clear voice. "Very close." Deeper voice. "Mr. Knox, where exactly are you?" "I'm right here." Both voices perfectly synchronized again for just those 3 words. Then separating. "Can't you see me?" Clear voice. "I'm right in front of him." Deeper voice. Shaw's radio crackled with interference. When his voice came through, it was tense. "Dispatch, the footprints stop." "Just stop. Middle of a small clearing. No indication of where the person went. It's like they vanished mid-step." "Any sign of the caller?" "Negative, but I found something. It's a cell phone. Screen is still lit up. Shows an active call to 911. Duration, 17 minutes. My screen showed the same call. Ellery Knox. Duration, 17 minutes. Shaw, that's the caller's phone. Through the phone line, I could still hear breathing. Both versions. How was I still hearing Ellery if his phone was on the ground? "Mr. Knox, where are you calling from if your phone is on the ground?" My phone is in my hand. Clear voice. "I can see it right here." Deeper voice. Shaw picked up the phone. Through the radio, I heard the call end. The connection died with a sharp click. But through my headset, Ellery was still there. Still breathing. Still speaking. He hung up on me. Clear voice. "Why did he hang up?" Deeper voice. "Mr. Knox, your phone disconnected. How are you still on the line?" I don't know what you're talking about. Both voices. "We've been on this call the whole time." Both voices. "You answered when I called about the accident." Both voices. The synchronization was back, but wrong now. The voices overlapped in a way that made my teeth ache. Shaw's voice shaky. "Dispatch, I'm looking at this phone. The call log shows one call, to 911, placed 23 minutes ago. But the call only lasted 17 minutes. It ended when I picked up the phone." "Confirmed. Call ended on my screen, too." "Then who the hell is talking to you?" "Through my headset. Is there a problem?" Both voices, layered now. "I'm still waiting for help." Multiple voices. "The accident was at mile marker 47.3. Dozens of voices. I ripped off my headset, but I could still hear them. Coming from the speaker on the console, from my computer, from every piece of equipment that could produce sound. "Send help. Mile marker 47.3. Send help. Mile marker 47.3. Over and over, the voices multiplying, layering, some saying it forwards, some backwards, some at different speeds. I killed the power to my station. Everything went dark and silent. Tom came running from the break room. "What the hell? What happened?" I was shaking. "I don't know. I need you to check something. Pull the call logs for tonight, Ellery Knox." He logged into his station and pulled up the records. "Here it is. Ellery Knox, called at 2:33 a.m., disconnected at 2:50 a.m., 17 minutes. Play the recording." He pulled up the audio file and hit play. My voice. 911, what's your emergency?" Silence. "Hello? Is anyone there?" More silence. Then the call disconnected. "There's no one on the other end," Tom said. "Just dead air. You were talking to yourself for 17 minutes. That's impossible. I heard him. I heard voices. Risa, the recording is clear. There was no one on this call." Shaw was calling on the radio. I picked up, hands still shaking. "Dispatch, I found something else. There's a vehicle matching the description about 50 yards deeper in the forest. Looks like it's been here for weeks, maybe months, completely overgrown. That can't be the same car you saw on the road. I know. But I went back to check the one in the ditch. Risa, it's gone." "What do you mean gone?" "I mean, there's no car in the ditch. No impact marks. No broken glass. The shoulder is undisturbed. There was never a car here." I pulled up the dash cam footage from Shaw's patrol car. Watched him pull up to mile marker 47.3. Empty road. No car. No flashers. No nothing. Just Shaw getting out and walking into the forest. But I'd heard Ellery. I'd heard the car being described. The deer, the accident, all of it. Shaw found the old vehicle deep in the woods and ran the plates. Registered to Ellery Knox. Reported abandoned 4 months ago after Knox failed to return from a camping trip in the state forest. Body never found. I listened to the call recording 5 more times. Each time, just silence and my own voice asking questions to no one. But I know what I heard. 2 voices. Then dozens. All versions of the same person, speaking slightly out of sync, like echoes bouncing through time. Shaw filed a report. Said he'd been dispatched to a possible abandoned vehicle, found an old wreck in the forest, no signs of recent activity. My report said I'd received a call with no one on the other end. Technical glitch. Logged and closed. But Tom pulled me aside before I left that morning. "I believe you," he said quietly. "This happened to Martinez about 2 years ago, before you started here. Call from a hiker who said he was lost in the state forest. Martinez kept him on the line for 40 minutes, gave detailed directions, coordinated search and rescue. But when they pulled the recording, it was just like yours. Silence. Martinez talking to himself. Did they find the hiker? They found his campsite. He'd been dead for 3 weeks. Exposure." I wanted to ask more, but Tom shook his head. Some calls don't make sense. We log them and move on. But between you and me, don't take calls from that area anymore. Route 47, the state forest, any of it. Just don't. I followed his advice for a month. Then last week the phone rang at 2:33 a.m. Different caller ID, different name, but the same location. Mile marker 47.3. I let it go to Tom. Watched him answer. 911, what's your emergency? I could see the confusion on his face. His mouth moving, asking questions. But I checked his screen from across the room. No one on the other end, just like mine had been. When he hung up 20 minutes later, he looked at me. Did you hear that? I didn't hear anything, Tom. Two voices, saying the same thing but out of sync. One of them was asking for help. The other one, he swallowed. The other one was laughing. The call logs show nothing. Just dead air and dispatchers talking to themselves. But we hear them, and each time there are more voices. Last night, 3 different dispatchers took calls from that location. All of them heard the doubling, the layering, the voices splitting and multiplying. We've stopped sending deputies to Route 47 after midnight. Too dangerous. Too many false calls. But the calls keep coming. Mile marker 47.3. Different voices. Same location. And I think I understand now what's happening. Ellery Knox drove off that road 4 months ago. But somewhere, in some version of that moment, he called 911, asked for help, stayed on the line, and the call never ended. It just echoes, multiplies, splits into different frequencies. Each person who answers becomes part of it. Our voices join the chorus. The dispatcher who answered Ellery's original call is in there too, and Martinez's lost hiker, and probably dozens of others. All of us still on the line, still trying to help, still trying to send someone. But no help ever arrives. Because the call happened months ago, or years ago, or maybe it hasn't happened yet. Time doesn't work right at mile marker 47.3. The voices just keep stacking, keep layering, keep asking for help that already came or never will. And soon, I think, there will be so many voices that anyone who calls from anywhere in the county will hear them. We'll all be talking over each other, an infinite dispatch center handling the same call forever. I put in my transfer request yesterday, moving to a different county, a different state. But last night, as I was driving home, my car radio glitched. Static. Then voices. My voice. 911, what's your emergency? And underneath it, dozens more. All saying the same thing. Send help. Mile marker 47.3. I think I'm already part of it. I think we all are. And somewhere, in some version of right now, I'm still on that call. Still listening to Ellery Knox. Still trying to send help. Still waiting. Always waiting. The call never ends. The coffee pot had been empty for 2 hours. I'd meant to make a fresh pot, but kept getting sidetracked by paperwork. And now here I was at 4:12 a.m. with a caffeine headache building behind my eyes and a stack of equipment requisition forms that needed to be filed before my shift ended. My name is Cal Monroe, and I'd been doing this job for 12 years. Long enough to know that the quiet nights were the ones that kept you on edge. The busy nights, you stayed sharp because you had to. The quiet nights let your mind wander, and that's when you miss things. The rain had started around midnight, one of those steady autumn rains that turned everything outside into a wall of gray. I could hear it against the windows of the dispatch center, a constant white noise that should have been soothing but somehow made the silence inside feel heavier. When the phone rang, I actually welcomed it. 911, what's your emergency? There's smoke coming from my basement. A woman's voice, elderly, maybe 70s. calm but concerned. Not a lot, but I can smell it upstairs. I pulled up the caller information. Morel Durant. Address 823 Ashford Street. That was in the old historic district, houses dating back to the 1800s. Miss Durant, have you seen any flames? Any heat? No flames, just smoke. Thin smoke, like from paper burning. Are you in the house now? Yes, I'm upstairs in my bedroom. I need you to leave the house immediately. Don't take time to gather anything. Just get out and go to a neighbor's house. I don't think it's that serious. I just wanted someone to check. Ma'am, any smoke in a structure is serious. I'm sending the fire department now, but I need you to evacuate. Can you do that for me? Yes, all right, I'm going. I dispatched Fire Captain Orrin Halliday and his crew. They were 7 minutes out. I stayed on the line with Morel as she made her way out of the house. I'm outside now, she said. Standing in my front yard. It's raining quite hard. That's okay. Stay there. Help is on the way. Tell me about the smoke. When did you first notice it? About 10 minutes ago. I came downstairs to get a glass of water and I smelled it. That distinctive smell, you know? Like old wood burning. Have you been in your basement recently? Oh no, I never go down there. Haven't been in that basement in 20 years. Something in the way she said it made me pause. 20 years. Why not? Well, there was a fire down there in 2004. Not a big one, but enough that they sealed it off. Said the structural damage made it unsafe. I've just left it alone ever since. 20 years ago, exactly. Miss Durant, if the basement was sealed, how is smoke getting out? I don't know. That's why I called. Maybe the seal broke, or maybe the smoke is finding cracks to seep through. Fire Captain Orrin arrived 6 minutes later. Through the radio, I heard him doing his initial assessment. Dispatch, I'm at 823 Ashford. Single-family residence, 2-story Victorian. Caller is accounted for and safe in the front yard. No visible smoke from the exterior. Copy that. Caller reports smoke from the basement. Be advised, basement was sealed in 2004 due to fire damage. Acknowledged. We're going in to investigate. I stayed on the line with Morel while Orrin and his crew entered the house. Miss Durant, can you tell me more about the fire in 2004? What caused it? There was a pause. I don't really remember. I was told it started in the basement, something electrical. It was very early in the morning, around 4 a.m. I smelled smoke and called 911. 4 a.m., just like now. It was 4:18 a.m. currently. Did you lose anything in the fire? No, they got it under control quickly, but the smoke damage was extensive. And when they inspected afterward, they found the basement structure was compromised. Said it could collapse, so they sealed the door, and I never went down again. Through the radio, Orrin's voice, "Dispatch, we're inside. Checking the ground floor first. I can smell something. Not smoke exactly. More like old smoke. Like the smell of a building that burned a long time ago." Miss Durant, did they ever fully clean the smoke damage? They did their best. But you know how it is with old houses. The smell never completely goes away. Orrin again. We've located the basement door. It's sealed with wood panels and what looks like expanding foam. But dispatch, the seal is intact. If there's smoke in the basement, it shouldn't be able to get through this. Check for any gaps or cracks. A minute passed, then, negative. The seal is solid, but I'm definitely smelling something, getting stronger near the door. I had a thought. Miss Durant, do you have any photos from the 2004 fire? Any documentation? I have the fire report somewhere. They gave me a copy for my insurance. Can you tell me where it is? Maybe a neighbor could help you find it? It's in my filing cabinet. In my study, second floor, I contacted Mrs. Patterson, Morell's neighbor who had taken her in. Asked if she could retrieve the file. She was hesitant, but agreed. While we waited, Orrin made a decision. Dispatch, we're going to breach the seal. Something's not right here. If there is smoke in that basement, we need to address it. Copy. Proceed with caution. I listened through the radio as they used pry bars to remove the panels. The wood was old, came apart easily. Then they tackled the foam seal. Dispatch, we've breached the seal. Opening the basement door now. A long pause. Captain Orrin, report. His voice was strange when he replied, flat. Dispatch, there's no smoke down here. Say again? The basement is clear. No smoke, no fire, no signs of recent burning. Just an old basement that's been sealed for 2 decades. Mrs. Patterson came back on Morell's phone. I found the file. It's quite thick. Can you read me the incident report? The initial call details? Let me see. 911 call received October 17th, 2004 at 4:13 a.m. Caller, Morell Durant. Address, 823 Ashford Street. Reported smoke coming from basement. The hair on my arm stood up. What else does it say? Caller evacuated structure. Fire crew arrived at 4:19 a.m. Initial assessment showed no visible exterior smoke. Crew entered structure and detected odor of old smoke. Basement door was found sealed. Wait, sealed? In 2004? That's what it says. Basement door was found sealed with wood panels and foam. Seal was breached by crew. Basement was empty. No active fire. Investigation determined the smoke smell was residual from a previous incident in 1984. My mouth went dry. 1984? Can you check if there's anything about a fire in 1984? She flipped through pages. Yes, here. October 17, 1984, same address, same caller. That's impossible. Ms. Durant would have been in her 50s. Morell said quietly. She'd been listening. I was 52 in 1984. I remember that fire. Woke up at 4 a.m., smelled smoke from the basement. They came and checked, but found nothing. Said the smell was from an even older fire. How old? Mrs. Patterson was still reading. 1964, October 17th, same address, same time. Caller name is, oh God, Morell Durant. Through the radio, Orrin's voice was shaking now. Cal, you need to hear this. We found something down here. What is it? Fire reports. Dozens of them. Tacked to the basement walls. All for this address. All October 17. All 4 a.m. Going back to Jesus, the oldest one is from 1924. Are they all the same? Not exactly. The details change slightly. Different fire captains responding. Different equipment noted. But the core is the same. Morell Durant calls about smoke from the basement. Crew responds. Finds the basement sealed. No active fire. Smell of old smoke. Morell's voice was small now. I don't understand. I've only lived here since 1973. Mrs. Patterson was still reading. Morell, this file shows you purchased the house in 1973 from yourself. Morell Durant, previous owner. That's not possible. But I was starting to understand. Or at least I was starting to see the shape of it. Captain Orrin, are there any reports after 2004? He was quiet for a moment, looking through the papers. Yes, October 17th, 2024. 4:13 a.m. Caller, Morell Durant. Smoke from basement. Crew responded. That's today, I said. That's right now. That report shouldn't exist yet. It's here, Cal. Written in the same format as the others. Same handwriting, but the ink looks fresh. What does it say the crew found? It says the basement was empty. No smoke, no fire, but the smell was present. Smell of old smoke. Investigation revealed. He stopped. What? What did it reveal? Investigation revealed that the source of smoke was not from the current timeline. Silence on the radio. Silence on the phone line. Morel spoke, her voice distant. I remember now, all of it. I've made this call before, many times. I wake up at 4 a.m., smell smoke, call 911. Someone comes. They find nothing. They seal the basement. 20 years pass. Then I make the call again. Miss Durant, but it's not 20 years, is it? It's all happening at the same time. Every October 17 at 4 a.m. I'm calling. I'm always calling. The fire is always about to start. Or it already started. Or it hasn't started yet. Through the radio, Oren's voice. Cal, there's one more thing. The most recent report, the one from today. It's not complete. It ends mid-sentence. Investigation revealed that the source of smoke was not from the current timeline. The fire originated in, and then it stops. Originated in what? I don't know. The sentence just ends. Morel gasped. I smell it again, the smoke. It's stronger now. Mrs. Patterson confirmed it. I can smell it too, coming from Morel's house. There's smoke in the windows now. Oren, dispatch, we have active smoke in the basement. It just started, coming from nowhere. No fire, no heat source, just smoke appearing out of nothing. Evacuate the structure, now. Already moving, but Cal, the smoke is following us. It's moving up the stairs behind us like it's alive. I could hear them running, hear the radio crackling with interference, hear Morel breathing faster on the phone. It's happening again, she whispered. It always happens. The smoke comes. They seal the basement. 20 years pass. Then I wake up and smell it again. Over and over. Miss Durant, listen to me. When is your birthday? What? Your birthday. When is it? October 17th. What year were you born? Silence, then quietly. I don't know. I've always been here, in this house, making this call. The smoke was pouring from the house now. Oren and his crew were out, standing in the yard with Morel and Mrs. Patterson, watching as thick gray smoke billowed from every window. But there were no flames, just smoke. Smoke that shouldn't exist. Smoke from a fire that was burning somewhere else. When else? Captain Oren, can you enter again? Check for survivors? Negative. Smoke is too thick. Zero visibility. We'd need respirators, and even then, there's someone inside, Morel said. I can feel it. There's someone in the basement. There's always someone in the basement. Who? Me. I'm in the basement. I've always been in the basement. I'm calling from down there, calling for help because I can't get out. The door is sealed. I checked my screen. The call was still active. Morel Durant. But she was standing in the yard. I could see her through Oren's body cam. So who was on the phone? Hello? I said. Who am I speaking with? Morel Durant. I'm in the basement of 823 Ashford Street. There's smoke. I can't get out. Please help me. The voice was the same, but different. Younger? More frightened. What year is it? I asked. 1924. October 17th, 1924. Please. The smoke is so thick. I can't breathe. I put her on hold and switched to the Mirlo standing in the yard. Miss Durant, in 1924, were you in that house? I don't remember. Maybe. I think I've always been here. I switched back to the other line. How did you get in the basement? I live here. I came down to check the furnace and the door sealed behind me. I can't open it. And there's smoke. There's so much smoke. Please hurry. Help is coming. Stay low. Cover your mouth." But help had come. In 1924. They'd found nothing. And in 1944, nothing. And in 1964, nothing. Every 20 years, the call, the smoke, the sealed basement. I had a horrible thought. "Captain Oren, the basement. When you were down there, did you seal the door behind you?" "No, we left it open." "Check it now." He ran to the house, looked through a window. "Cal, the door. It's sealed again, wood panels and foam, like it was never opened." The smoke was dissipating now, fading like it had never been there. In 5 minutes, the house looked normal. No smoke, no damage. Just a wet Victorian house in the rain. Oren went back inside. The basement door was sealed solid. When they breached it again, they found the reports still tacked to the walls. But there was one more now. October 17th, 2024. 4:13 a.m. Caller. Morel Durant. Smoke from basement. Crew responded. Found smoke but no fire. Basement was sealed. Investigation revealed that the source of smoke was not from the current timeline. The fire originated in 1904, when Morel Durant died in a basement fire at 823 Ashford Street. Her call for help was never answered. The call continues to repeat every 20 years. No resolution possible. Recommend sealing basement and documenting incident. Below that, in different handwriting, next occurrence, October 17th, 2044. 4:13 a.m. I was still on the phone with the 1924 Morel. She was crying now. "They're not coming, are they? No one ever comes. I'm so sorry. I can't breathe. The smoke is so thick. Please, I just want to get out." The line went to static, then silence. The Morel standing in the yard was staring at the house. "I remember now. I died in there, in 1904. I was 63 years old. There was a fire. I called for help. But the fire department didn't exist yet. Not in this town. They formed it in 1910, after several tragedies. Then, who responded to your call? No one. I died alone. Calling for help that would never come. And every 20 years, the call tries again. Hope someone will answer differently. Someone will save me. But we can't save someone who died in 1904. No, you can't. But I keep calling anyway, because what else can I do? She turned to look at me through the phone. I don't know how I knew she was looking at me specifically, but I did. In 20 years I'll call again, October 17th, 2044, at 4:13 a.m. And whoever is working that night will hear me, and they'll send someone, and they'll find smoke but no fire, and the basement will be sealed, and nothing will change. We could stop answering. Could you? If you heard someone calling for help, could you really not answer? She was right, we couldn't. Mrs. Patterson took Morel back to her house. The fire crew packed up. The basement door was sealed again, this time with steel and concrete. A permanent seal. But it won't matter. In 20 years at 4:13 a.m. on October 17th, someone will call. Someone will smell smoke. Someone will need help. And will respond. Because that's what we do. We answer. Even when we know we can't help. Even when we know the call is from someone who died 120 years ago. We answer. I filed my report. Called it a false alarm. Residual smoke from historical fire damage. But I made a note in my personal file. October 17th, 2044. 4:13 a.m. I'll be retired by then. Long retired. But I warned my replacement. Wrote it all down. sealed it in an envelope marked "Do not open until October 16th, 2044." Because someone needs to know. Someone needs to be ready. Not because they can change anything, but because Morel Durant has been calling for help for 120 years. And the least we can do is answer. Even if all we can offer is a voice in the darkness. Even if all we can say is help is on the way, knowing it's a lie. Because dying alone is hard enough. Dying alone while calling for help that never comes, over and over for more than a century. That's worse. So we answer. And in 20 years, someone else will answer. And 20 years after that. Forever. Until the house finally burns completely. Or until time itself forgets about the woman who died in 1904. Whichever comes first. I don't think it will be soon. The power had flickered twice in the past hour. Nothing major, just brief dips that made the lights dim and the computers hiccup before surging back. Storm system moving through, the news said, though I hadn't seen much rain yet. Just wind, lots of wind, making the old building creak and groan like a ship at sea. My name is Tegan Rourke. I'd been working dispatch for 11 years and I'd learned to trust my instincts. When something felt wrong about a call, it usually was wrong. Not always in the way you expected, but wrong nonetheless. The call came in at 3:21 a.m. 911, what's your emergency? I don't know where I am. Male voice. Young. Maybe late 20s. Not drunk or high. Just genuinely confused and frightened. My GPS keeps changing. I'm lost. I pulled up the tracking on my screen. The number showed as a cell phone, and the location was odd. Sir, what's your name? Hollis McCreary. Okay, Hollis, tell me what's happening. Where were you trying to go? Home. I was driving home from work. Third shift at the factory. I've made this drive 1,000 times. But I turned onto what I thought was Elm Street and now I'm somewhere else. What do you see around you? I'm sitting in my car. It's dark. I'm on a residential street, I think. There are houses, but they don't look right. Don't look right how? They're all dark. No lights at all. And they're all the same, like exactly the same. Same model, same color, same everything. I checked the GPS on my screen. It showed Hollis at the intersection of Maple and 3rd, normal residential area. Hollis, my system shows you at Maple and 3rd. Does that sound right? I don't know, maybe. Wait, the sign just changed. What do you mean, changed? The street sign. I was looking at it and it said Maple Street, but then it flickered and now it says Oak Street. But I haven't moved. I refreshed the GPS. The location had changed. Now it showed him at Oak and 7th. Hollis, did you drive to a different location? No. I've been sitting here the whole time. My car's in park. I haven't moved. I watched the GPS. As I stared at it, the location shifted again. Pine Street and 11th. That's not possible, I muttered. What's not possible? I caught myself. Nothing. Stay calm. I'm sending an officer to your location. Can you describe your vehicle? Blue Honda Civic, 2016, license plate HLM 4732. I dispatched Officer Aidan Fallow, who was patrolling about 6 minutes from the Maple and 3rd location, or what had been Maple and 3rd. The GPS showed Hollis at Birch and 4th now. Hollis, I need you to stay in your vehicle. An officer is on the way. What else can you see around you? The houses, they're getting worse. Worse how? More identical. At first I thought they just looked similar, but now I can see they're perfect copies. Same bushes in the same spots, same cracks in the same driveways. It's like someone copied and pasted the same house over and over. The GPS shifted. Cedar and 9th. How long have you been lost? Maybe 20 minutes. I noticed something was wrong when I couldn't find the turn for my apartment. I've been driving around trying to get my bearings, but every street looks the same. Then my phone's GPS started jumping around, so I pulled over. Officer Aiden's voice on the radio. "Dispatch, I'm at Maple and 3rd, no vehicle matching that description." I checked the screen. Hollis was now at Willow and 2nd. "Negative, his location is shifting. Currently showing Willow and 2nd. Copy, en route." I kept Hollis talking. "Are you seeing any other cars? Any people?" "No, no one. It's completely empty. Even the houses, I can't see any lights inside. No TVs, no nightlights, nothing. It's like they're all abandoned." "What about your GPS app? What's it showing?" "That's the weird part. It shows I'm moving, like actively moving down roads, but I'm not. I'm sitting still." The GPS shifted again. Ash and 12. Officer Aiden. "Dispatch, I'm at Willow and 2nd. Still no vehicle." The shifting was happening faster now. Every 30 seconds or so, Hollis's location jumped to a different intersection. "Officer Aiden, the location is unstable. It's moving every half minute. Current location, Ash and 12th. This doesn't make sense. Is his phone malfunctioning?" "Possible, but he's reporting visual confirmation of street signs changing. Hemlock and 5th, Spruce and 8th, Redwood and 3rd, the locations weren't following any logical pattern. Not a circle, not a straight line. Random jumps across the grid. Hollis, I need you to try something. Step out of your car and look at the street sign. Tell me exactly what it says." I heard his car door open. Wind immediately howled through the connection. Jesus, when did it get so windy? "We have a storm system moving through. What does the sign say?" "It says Sycamore Street, but that's not one of our street names. We don't have a Sycamore Street." He was right. I knew every street in the county. No Sycamore. "Hollis, get back in your car." As he did, the GPS jumped again. But this time the location showed somewhere I didn't recognize at all. The street names were gibberish. Numbers and symbols mixed with letters. "Hollis, what do you see now?" "The houses are wrong. They're distorting, like looking at them through water. And the street sign is just... It's not words anymore. It's symbols I don't recognize. Palm and 3rd. That was real. Back to normal streets. Then Orchid and 21st. We only had 20 streets in the numbered grid. Then Asha North. The system was breaking down. Officer Aiden. "Dispatch, I'm driving the grid pattern, but I'm not finding him. Request additional units for expanded search." I sent 2 more cars, but I had a horrible feeling they wouldn't find him either. "Hollis, listen to me carefully. I want you to try driving. Pick a direction and drive straight. Don't turn, just keep going straight." "Okay, I'm putting you on speaker. Starting to drive now." Through the phone, I heard his engine, heard him shift into drive, heard the sound of the car moving. The GPS didn't move. "Hollis, are you driving?" "Yes, I'm going about 30 miles an hour, passing houses, but they're all the same. Every single one." The GPS stayed fixed at present Ash and North. "What's your odometer reading?" 47,823 miles. Keep driving straight. Tell me when it changes." 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. "Hollis, what's the odometer now?" "Still 47,823. That's not possible. I've been driving for 2 minutes. It should have changed." "Keep going." But I knew. Somehow, I knew he wasn't actually moving. Or he was moving through something that didn't count as distance. Officer Aiden. "Dispatch, I'm at the edge of the residential district. If he's still in this area, he should be visible. There's no traffic, no other vehicles at all. Expand search to commercial district." but I was watching something else. The GPS, still showing that impossible location, was now displaying altitude data. Hollis was underground. According to the GPS, he was 40 feet below street level. Hollis, stop the car. What? Why? Just stop. Put it in park. He did. The engine idled. Okay, I'm stopped. Now what? Look around. What's different? A long pause. The houses are gone. What do you see instead? Nothing. Just darkness. Empty space. But I'm on a road. I can see the road in my headlights. It's just floating in nothing. The GPS depth reading changed. 60 feet underground, 80 feet, 100. Hollis, turn off your headlights. Are you serious? Please, just for a moment. I heard the click as he shut them off. Silence. Then, oh my God. What is it? There are lights. All around me. Like stars but closer. And they're moving. Coming closer. Turn your headlights back on. He did. The lights are gone. It's just darkness again. The GPS showed him 200 feet underground now. Hollis, I need you to try to drive back the way you came. Reverse if you have to. Just try to get back to where you were. I don't know where I was. I know, just try, any direction. He put the car in reverse. I heard the engine strain. I can't move. The car's running, but it's not going anywhere. Like the wheels aren't gripping. 300 feet underground. Officer Aiden, dispatch, I'm not finding him. This is impossible. He can't just vanish. But he had. Hollis McCreary was somewhere my GPS couldn't properly map. Somewhere that didn't follow normal geography. Hollis, I want you to look at your surroundings. Are there any buildings? Any landmarks? No, just the road. It goes forward and backward, but I can't tell how far. Everything else is empty. Is there anything on the road? Any markers, lines, signs? Wait, yeah, there's something ahead, in the headlights. It looks like it's a house. One of the identical houses? No, this one's different. It's the only thing here, and there's a light on inside. Porch light. I had a bad feeling. Don't approach it. Why not? Maybe someone there can help. Hollis, you're showing as 300 feet underground on my system. Whatever that house is, it's not normal. But he was already shifting into drive. I have to try. I can't just sit here. The car moved forward. I heard the tires on pavement. The GPS didn't change. I'm getting closer to the house. I can see the address. It's my address, Hollis. This is my apartment. That's impossible. You're nowhere near your apartment. I know what my apartment looks like. This is it. Same building, same number. 2847 Elm Street, Unit 4B. The same number as the house in my second story. My skin crawled. Hollis, do not get out of the car. But I'm home. I made it home. You're not home. You can't be. The GPS. Screw the GPS. I'm looking at my own front door. He was getting out. I heard the car door open. Hollis, please. But he was walking. I heard his footsteps. Heard him approach the building. The door's unlocked. I'm going in. Hollis, stop! The connection went to static. Then silence. The GPS location disappeared entirely from my screen. Just a blank spot where Hollis McCreary had been. Officer Aiden arrived at the real 2847 Elm Street 10 minutes later. Unit 4B was Hollis's apartment. The door was locked. No one answered when they knocked. The building super let them in. The apartment was empty, clean. No signs of Hollis ever arriving home. His blue Honda Civic was found 2 days later, at the intersection of Maple and 3rd, parked legally. Doors locked, keys in the ignition. The engine was cold, like it had been sitting there for hours. The odometer read 47,823 miles. Inside the car, they found Hollis's phone, still on, still connected to 911. The call duration showed 3 hours and 47 minutes, but I'd only been on the phone with him for 18 minutes before the connection went to static. The phone's GPS log was corrupted. It tried to recover it, but the data was nonsensical. Coordinates that placed the phone in locations that didn't exist, altitudes that went miles underground, timestamps that showed the phone had been in multiple places simultaneously. They never found Hollis McCreary. Missing persons case, still open. But here's what I didn't put in my report. At exactly 3:21 a.m. every night since then, I get a call. Same number. Hollis's number. When I answer, there's no one there, just static. But underneath the static, if I listen carefully, I can hear an engine idling, and very faintly the sound of someone breathing. Last week, I stayed on the line for the full duration, listened through the static for any sign of Hollis. At the 18-minute mark, the static cleared for just a moment. Hollis's voice. "I'm still driving. The road never ends. The house keeps appearing in front of me, and I keep going inside, but it's never right. Never quite my apartment. Something's always different. A picture frame moved, a book missing, small things. So I get back in my car and keep driving, but I always end up at the same house. Always 3:21 a.m., always the same empty roads. Hollis, can you hear me?" "I can hear you, Tegan. You're asking me questions. Same questions you asked that first night. You're trying to help, but help never comes. Officer Aiden never finds me. The GPS keeps changing, and I keep driving these empty roads looking for a home that looks like mine but isn't. How do I help you? You can't. I'm not in your world anymore. I turned onto Elm Street but ended up somewhere else. Somewhere that looks like our town but isn't. All the same streets but in the wrong order. All the same houses but empty. Are you alone there?" A pause. Longer than it should be. "No. There are others. I see them sometimes. In their cars. Driving the same roads. We pass each other going opposite directions. All of us lost. All of us looking for home. We never stop, never speak. Just drive. How many others? I don't know. Dozens? Hundreds? I see the same blue Honda Civic sometimes. Same year as mine, same license plate. But the driver's not me. He's someone else who got lost the same way I did. Or maybe he's me from a different night. A different version of this, I don't know anymore." The static came back. Swallowed his voice. But before the call disconnected, I heard one more thing. "Tell my family I'm sorry I never made it home." The call ended. I filed the report as an unidentified noise call. Didn't mention Hollis. Didn't mention the voice in the static. Because how do you explain that someone is calling from somewhere that doesn't exist? From roads that connect to nothing? From a version of our town that's all wrong? You don't. You just take the call. Every night at 3:21 a.m., you listen to the static. And you hope that somehow, one of these times, the roads will lead him home. But they won't. Because I think I understand now what happened. Hollis turned onto a street that shouldn't have existed. A street that appears, sometimes, at certain times, under certain conditions. A street that looks like all our other streets but leads somewhere else. And once you turn onto it, you're caught in a loop, driving forever through a town that looks right but isn't, passing the same houses that are all identical, finding your home, going inside, but it's wrong somehow, so you leave and keep driving. Forever. I've started watching for it. The street that shouldn't exist. I drive home different routes every night, avoiding the residential district between 3 and 4 a.m., because I see it sometimes, out of the corner of my eye. A street sign that flickers, A road that appears between two houses where there was no road before. And sometimes, late at night, when I'm the only one working dispatch, I pull up the map on my computer, and I see them. GPS signals that appear for just a moment, always in that same window of time, always showing impossible locations. Different names, different dates, different people, but all of them lost on roads that don't exist. All of them calling for help. All of them driving home but never arriving. I answer when they call. I try to help, but help never comes, because the roads they're on don't connect to ours anymore. They're parallel, adjacent, close enough to call through, close enough to hear, but not close enough to reach. Last night, Officer Aiden pulled me aside. "I saw something on patrol," he said quietly, driving past Maple and 3rd, around 3:30 a.m. For just a second, there was a car there. Blue Honda Civic. I blinked, and it was gone. "Did you see the driver?" "Yeah, he was looking right at me. Like he could see me too. He was mouthing something. I think he was saying help. Did you get the plate?" He showed me his dash cam footage. The car appeared for exactly 3 frames, just long enough to read the license plate. HLM 4732, Hollis McCreary. Still driving, still lost, still appearing for brief moments in our world before slipping back into wherever he is. "What do I put in my report?" Aiden asked. "Nothing. Equipment malfunction. Glitch in the camera." He nodded. We both knew the truth wouldn't matter. Because what can you do about roads that shift? Locations that don't exist? People who are lost somewhere adjacent to reality? You do what I do. You answer the phone at 3:21 a.m. You listen to the static. You tell them help is on the way, even though you know it's not. Even though you know they'll be driving those empty roads forever. Because someone should answer. Someone should listen. Someone should know that Hollis McCreary and all the others didn't just vanish. They're still out there, still calling, still trying to find their way home. And maybe, just maybe, one night the roads will shift the right way, and they'll turn onto a street that leads back. I don't think they will, but I keep answering anyway, because that's what I do. I answer, even when help can't come, even when the roads lead nowhere. I answer, and I hope. And I listen to the static, waiting for the voice underneath. The voice that says, "I'm still driving." The vending machine had eaten my last $3, and I was seriously considering taking a fire extinguisher to it when the phone rang. I abandoned my vendetta against the machine and reached for my headset, still annoyed, but forcing my voice into the professional calm I'd perfected over the years. My name is Vera Killian, and I'd been answering emergency calls for 14 years, long enough to recognize the sound of real panic versus manufactured drama, long enough to know that Tuesday nights in November were usually quiet, too cold for outdoor crime, too early in the month for holiday stress. The call came in at 11:47 p.m. 911, what's your emergency? Silence, but not empty silence. I could hear someone breathing, and beneath that, music playing faintly. Old music. Something from the 40s, all brass and crooning vocals. "Hello? This is 911. Do you need help?" Yes, a man's voice, older, refined. The kind of voice that belonged to someone who used words like whom correctly in casual conversation. "Yes, I need to report that I'm dead." I'd heard a lot of strange opening lines over the years. This was a new one. "Sir, can you clarify what you mean?" "I mean precisely that. I'm calling to report my own death. It happened approximately 40 minutes ago. Heart attack, I believe, quite sudden. I was listening to Artie Shaw when it happened. The music in the background. That was Artie Shaw. Begin the Begin. Sir, if you're able to call 911, you're not dead. You may have had a medical episode, but no, you misunderstand. I am quite deceased. I'm looking at my body right now. It's slumped in the armchair in my study. Rather undignified, I must say. I pulled up the caller information. Silas Thorne. Address, 1847 Queensberry Road. That was in the expensive part of town. Old estates with gates and long driveways. Mr. Thorne, I'm going to send someone to check on you. What's your medical history? Any heart conditions? Extensive history. My physician, Dr. Whitmore, has been warning me for years. But I'm not calling for medical assistance. I'm calling to report the body. Someone should collect it before it begins to decompose. That would be unpleasant for whoever finds it. The calm, matter-of-fact way he discussed his own corpse was deeply unsettling. Sir, are you alone in the house? Quite alone. I've lived alone for 17 years, since my wife passed. The housekeeper comes Thursdays. This is Tuesday, so the body won't be discovered until day after tomorrow unless someone is notified. I dispatched Officer Wade Merrick to the address while keeping Silas on the line. Standard procedure for wellness checks, even bizarre ones like this. Mr. Thorne, I have help on the way. Can you tell me what you're experiencing right now? Any chest pain, shortness of breath? I'm not experiencing anything. That's rather the point of being dead. No pain, no breathing, no heartbeat. Just a peculiar sense of detachment. If you're not breathing, how are you speaking to me? A pause. The music in the background continued its smooth, melancholic progression. An excellent question. I don't appear to have an answer. I simply am speaking. Perhaps the same way I'm standing here looking at my body despite no longer having one. You said you're looking at your body. Can you describe what you see? Certainly. I'm in my study. The body, my body, is seated in the red leather armchair by the fireplace. The fire has burned down to embers. The phonograph is still playing. I was in the middle of my evening record session. There's a book on the side table. Middlemarch. Never did finish it. Seems a shame. Officer Merrick's voice came through my radio. Dispatch, I'm approaching 1847 Queensberry. Large estate, gates are open. Proceeding to the main house. Through the phone, I heard what sounded like footsteps. But Silas had said he was dead, had no body. So whose footsteps? Mr. Thorne, do you hear anything unusual? Yes, footsteps. Someone's in the house. That must be your officer. Can you see him? I can see the front door from here through the hallway. He's just coming in now. Merrick radioed in. Dispatch, front door was unlocked. Entering the residence. Mr. Thorne, this is Officer Merrick. Through the phone, I heard Merrick's voice echoing through the house. But Silas didn't respond to him. Silas was still talking to me. He can't see me, Silas said quietly. I'm standing right in front of him and he's looking through me. Mr. Thorne, call out to the officer. Let him know where you are. I don't think that will work, but I'll try. Silence. Then, through the radio, Merrick. Dispatch, I'm checking the ground floor. Large house. No response to verbal hails. Through the phone, Silas. He didn't hear me. I was shouting. He walked right past me. Right through me, actually. Rather disconcerting sensation. My skin crawled. Officer Merrick, check the study. Caller indicated he's in that room. I heard Merrick walking through the house. Heard doors opening. Then a sharp intake of breath. Dispatch, I found him. Elderly male, unresponsive in a chair. Checking for pulse. Through the phone, Silas said softly, He's touching my wrist. I can see him doing it, but I can't feel it. Merrick's voice tight. No pulse, no respiration. Body is still warm, but he's gone. I'm calling it. Time of death approximately. What time is it? 11:53 p.m., I said. Wait, Silas interrupted. That's not right. I died at 11:07. I looked at my watch when it happened. Force of habit. Merrick continued, starting CPR protocol anyway, requesting immediate medical response. Don't bother, Silas said calmly. I've been dead for 45 minutes. CPR won't help. I relayed to Merrick. Caller states he's been deceased for 45 minutes. Caller? I thought you said he was unresponsive. He is. I stopped. How did I explain this? The call is still active. Through the phone, I could hear Merrick starting compressions, heard the rhythm of it, heard him counting. Silas spoke over it. This is pointless. My spirit or consciousness or whatever I am now is standing right here. The body is empty, has been for some time. Mr. Thorne, if you're deceased, how are we still speaking? I've been wondering that myself. I think it's because I called before my consciousness fully separated. The connection remains open, like a telephone line that was never properly disconnected. Paramedics arrived. I listened through both the phone and the radio as they worked on Silas's body. Advanced life support, medications, defibrillation, all the protocols. And through it all, Silas provided commentary. They're injecting something into my arm. Epinephrine, perhaps. Won't help. The body is done. They're using the electric paddles. I remember those from television. Quite dramatic. The younger paramedic seems upset. He shouldn't take it personally. I was 83. A good run, all things considered. After 20 minutes, they called it. Official time of death. 12:04 a.m. But Silas was still on the phone. There we are. It's official now. I'm legally dead. What happens next, I wonder? Mr. Thorne, I should disconnect the call now. Must you? I'd rather like the company. Being dead is surprisingly lonely. I should have disconnected. Should have logged the call and moved on. But something made me hesitate. What does it feel like? Being where you are. Peculiar. I can see everything in the room with perfect clarity. Better than I could with my failing eyes. I can hear the officers talking in the hall, discussing what to do with the body. I can see the clock, watch the second hand moving, but I can't touch anything, can't affect anything. I'm an observer, nothing more. Are you afraid? No. I thought I would be. Spent my whole life fearing death. But now that it's happened, I feel rather calm. Curious even. I keep expecting something to happen. A light, a tunnel, my wife appearing to guide me. All the things people talk about. But there's nothing. Just me, standing in my study, watching strangers handle my corpse. The medical examiner arrived. They began their procedures. Photographs, documentation, preparing to transport the body. Silas continued talking. They're putting me in a bag, a black plastic bag. How undignified. I should have specified in my will that I wanted something more elegant. Silk, perhaps. Mr. Thorne, call me Silas. I think we're past formalities, don't you? Silas, I need to end this call. I understand. You have other emergencies to handle. Lives to save. I'm beyond saving now. But I didn't hang up. My hand hovered over the button, but I couldn't press it. I'll stay for a few more minutes. Thank you, Vera. May I call you Vera? I heard Officer Merrick use your name. Yes. We sat in silence. Through the phone, I could hear the activity in his study. Muffled voices, footsteps, the sound of the gurney wheels. Then Silas said something that made my blood run cold. Vera, there's someone else here. What do you mean? In the study, I'm not alone. There's another presence. Like me. Another consciousness without a body. Can you see them? Not exactly, but I can sense them. They're standing by the fireplace. They've been there this whole time, I think. I just didn't notice until now. Do they seem threatening? No, just waiting. Watching. Through the radio, I heard Merrick and the others leaving the study. The house was being sealed, secured for the estate lawyers. Silas, the officers are leaving. Your body is being transported. I know, I can see, but Vera, I'm still here. In the house. I thought perhaps when they took the body I would follow it, or fade away. But I'm still here. What about the other presence? Still here too. Still by the fireplace. It's moving now, coming closer. I gripped the phone tighter. Silas, describe what's happening. It's taking shape, becoming more defined. It's a woman, elderly. She's looking at me, she's smiling. Do you recognize her? His voice cracked with emotion for the first time. Vera, it's my wife. It's Eleanor. She looks exactly as she did before the cancer. Beautiful. Whole. What is she doing? She's extending her hand. To me. She's saying something, but I can't hear her. The connection is strange. I can hear you perfectly, but I can't hear her. Silas, wait, I'm starting to hear her now. She's saying it's time to go, that she's been waiting. All these years she's been waiting. Are you going with her? A long pause. The music had stopped playing. The house was silent except for the ticking of a clock. I think I have to. The pull is stronger now, like gravity but gentle. She's still holding out her hand. Vera, I'm going to hang up now. Silas, wait. Thank you for staying with me. For being here at the end. Or the beginning. I'm not sure which this is. Silas, goodbye, Vera. The line went dead. I sat there for a moment, staring at my console. The call duration showed 47 minutes. I started typing my report, then the phone rang. Same line, same number. I answered, heart pounding. 911, what's your emergency? Silas's voice. Vera, is that you? Silas, I thought you hung up. I did, or I tried to. I took Eleanor's hand. There was a sensation of movement, of being pulled, and then I was back here, in the study, alone. Eleanor is gone. I don't understand. Neither do I. I thought I was leaving. Thought I was going, wherever she was, but I'm still here. Still in the house. Over the next hour, Silas tried to hang up 4 more times. Each time he would disconnect, describe moving towards some sort of destination, then find himself back in his study, back on the phone with me. It's the call, he said finally. The connection. I can't leave while we're still connected. Then I'll hang up, from my end. No, please don't. I tried that while you were helping another caller. The call disconnected, but I immediately found myself dialing again, as if compelled. It's automatic, involuntary. So you're trapped. It appears so. Trapped in this house, trapped in this call. A loop I can't escape. My supervisor, Helen, came by. Vera, you've been on the same call for 2 hours. What's going on? How could I explain? It's complicated. Is the caller in danger? He's dead. Then why are you still on the line? Because he won't stop calling back. She gave me a look that suggested I needed a break. Maybe she was right, but when I tried to transfer the call to another dispatcher, the system wouldn't let me. Error message. Line was locked to my console somehow. Silas heard the failed transfer attempt. I'm sorry, Vera. I seem to have anchored myself to you, to this specific connection. This isn't your fault, isn't it? I called 911 to report my death. Perhaps that was my mistake. Perhaps by making that call, by establishing that connection between the living world and wherever I am now, I created a bridge I can't uncross. Days passed. My shift ended, but the call remained active. I went home, slept, came back. The call was still there, Silas still on the line. Other dispatchers tried to answer it. They heard only silence. But when I picked up, there he was. "Good morning, Vera. Did you sleep well?" "Silas, this can't continue. I have other calls to take." "I know. I've been listening. You're very good at your job. Calm under pressure. You saved that child last night. The one who swallowed the penny. You can hear my other calls? All of them. I'm always here, always listening. Even when you're talking to others, I'm on the line, a permanent observer." It became routine. Silas was my constant companion. He listened to every call, offered occasional commentary, kept me company during the quiet hours. "The man on line 2 is lying," he'd say. "His story doesn't match his tone." Or, "The woman with the chest pain needs an ambulance immediately. She's downplaying her symptoms." He was usually right. Weeks passed. Silas never left his study. Never saw Eleanor again. Just remained there, existing in some space between life and death, connected to me through a phone call that refused to end. "Do you regret it?" I asked him one night. "Calling 911? Every day. I thought I was being responsible. Thought I was making it easier for everyone. Instead, I trapped myself. Trapped you. You haven't trapped me, haven't I? You could request a transfer, work different shifts, get away from this console, this number, but you haven't." He was right. I'd had opportunities to leave, but something kept me at this station, taking this call. "Why do you think you're still here?" I asked. "Why haven't you moved on?" Perhaps because I died alone. Perhaps because I called for help and help can't come. Perhaps because I made a connection in my final moments and now I can't sever it. Or perhaps this is simply what death is. Not darkness or light, but endless waiting, endless watching, endlessly calling out to the living world. That's a terrible existence. It is, but you make it bearable, Vera. Your voice, your presence. At least, I'm not completely alone. 3 months in, the call dropped, system failure. Lightning strike took out the phone lines for 6 hours. When they came back up, I waited, hoping, dreading. The phone rang. "Vera, are you there?" I was gone. Everything was gone. Just darkness, but now I'm back. God, I'm back. I'm here, Silas. Don't let go. Please, whatever you do, don't let the call drop again. The darkness was worse, so much worse than this. I made a decision then. Right or wrong, I don't know. I won't. I'll keep the line open. Thank you. It's been 7 months now. Silas is still on line 2, always there, always listening. My supervisor stopped asking questions. They've classified it as a system glitch, a phantom call that won't clear from the queue. But I know the truth. Silas Thorne died at 11:07 p.m. on a Tuesday in November. He called 911 to report it, and the call never ended. It never will. Sometimes late at night when the dispatch center is quiet, we talk. He tells me about his life, his regrets, his wife, the places he wished he'd traveled, the books he meant to read. And I tell him about my day, the calls I took, the lives I saved, the ones I couldn't. He's always there, my phantom caller, my eternal companion. Sometimes I wonder what will happen when I retire, when I leave this console for the last time. Will he remain here, trapped in the dispatch center? Will he be able to call the next person who takes this station? Or will he finally face that darkness again? I try not to think about it. Because right now, at 3:33 a.m., while I'm typing this report, the phone is active. Line 2. Duration, 847 hours and counting. And Silas is there on the other end, waiting. Always waiting. Vera? His voice comes through my headset. Are you still there? I'm here, Silas. Good. I'd hate to be alone. I wouldn't either, so the call continues. Forever. A connection between the living and the dead that neither of us knows how to break. And maybe, just maybe, neither of us wants to. Because being trapped together is better than being alone. Even if that trap is eternal. Even if it's just a voice on the phone, speaking from an empty house where a body was found 7 months ago. A voice that calls and calls and calls. And I answer every time. Because that's what I do. I answer. The heating system kicked on with its usual bang and rattle at exactly 1:47 a.m., making me jump even though I'd heard it do the same thing every night for the past 3 years. Old building, old pipes, old everything. The maintenance guy kept promising to fix it, but apparently bang and rattle wasn't high enough priority compared to actual emergencies like broken toilets or blown fuses. My name is Quinn Ashmore, and I'd been working the overnight dispatch for 6 years. It was a strange kind of job. You spent your nights plugged into other people's worst moments while sitting in a quiet office that smelled like burnt coffee and industrial carpet cleaner. You became intimate with the voices you'd never meet, heard people at their most vulnerable, then moved on to the next call. The phone rang at 2:14 a.m. 911, what's your emergency? Someone's in my house. A woman's voice, mid-40s, I'd guess, scared but trying to stay calm. The kind of controlled fear that came from understanding that panic wouldn't help. Ma'am, are you safe right now? Are you in the house? No, I'm outside, in my car. I just got home from my sister's place, and when I pulled into the driveway, I saw movement inside, through the kitchen window. Someone's in there. I pulled up the caller ID. Margot Aldridge. Address, 221-6 Wexford Drive. Okay, Margot, you did the right thing staying outside. I'm sending officers to your location right now. Can you describe what you saw? Just a shadow moving past the window, but all the lights were off when I left. Someone turned on the kitchen light. I dispatched Deputy Pierce Whitlock, who was about 8 minutes out. Margot, stay in your locked car with the engine running. If you see anyone exit the house, don't approach them. Just describe which direction they go. Okay, I can do that. Do you live alone? Yes, it's just me. Any alarm system? No, I keep meaning to get one, but her voice trailed off. That's all right. You're doing great. Tell me about the house. How many doors? How many floors? 2 floors. Front door, back door, through the kitchen. There's a basement entrance from outside, but it's padlocked. Any windows unlocked? I don't think so. I'm always careful about that. Through the phone, I heard her sharp intake of breath. What is it? The light. It just went off. The kitchen is dark again. Can you still see movement? No. Everything's still now. In the background of the call, I heard something. Faint, a ringing sound. Margot, do you hear that? That ringing? That's my house phone. Inside, someone's calling the landline. Do you still have a landline? Yes. I barely use it, but I keep it for emergencies. Who would be calling at 2 a.m.? The ringing continued. 10 rings, 15. Then it stopped. Silence. Then Margot's voice, barely a whisper. Quinn, the front door just opened. Can you see who it is? No, it's too dark. But the door is standing open. No one's coming out. Deputy Whitlock is 6 minutes away. Stay in your car. Wait. The porch light just came on. I can see inside now. Into the hallway. Do you see anyone? No, but there's something on the floor, in the hallway. It looks like a purse, my purse. Your purse is inside? No, my purse is here with me, in the car. But that looks exactly like my purse. The skin on my arms prickled. Margot, are you certain you have your purse with you? I heard rustling as she checked. Yes, it's right here, but there's another one in my hallway. The same brown leather bag, the same keychain hanging from it. Deputy Whitlock's voice came through my radio. Dispatch, I'm 2 minutes out from 2156 Wexford Drive. Through the phone, Margot gasped. What's happening? Someone just walked past the doorway, a woman. She's inside my house. Can you describe her? I can't see her clearly, but she's wearing a blue jacket, the same blue jacket I'm wearing right now. My hand tightened on the pen. Margot, are you certain about what you're seeing? I know how it sounds, but I'm telling you, there's someone in my house wearing my clothes, carrying my purse. It's like she's me. Whitlock pulled up to the house. Through the radio, I heard him step out of his patrol car. Through the phone, I heard Margot's breathing quicken. The deputy is here. He's walking up to the house. I stayed on both lines. Through the radio, I heard Whitlock at the front door. Dispatch, front door is standing open. Lights are on inside. I'm announcing myself and entering. Through the phone, Margot. He's going inside. Can you tell him to be careful? That woman, she went upstairs. Deputy Whitlock, caller reports a female intruder who went to the second floor. Copy that. I listened as Whitlock cleared the ground floor. Living room, clear. Kitchen, clear. Dining room, clear. Bathroom, clear. Dispatch, I found a purse in the hallway. Brown leather. Appears to be the homeowner's based on the ID inside. Through the phone, Margot's voice was shrill now. That's impossible. My ID is in my purse, in my wallet, right here. I heard her checking again. The rustle of leather, the sound of a wallet opening. Then silence. Margot? Quinn, my license isn't here. I had it this morning. I used it at the bank, but it's not in my wallet. Are you sure? I'm sure. And my credit cards. Only 2 of them are here. I have 4. Where are the other 2? Whitlock was heading upstairs. I could hear his footsteps through the radio, heavy and cautious. Second floor hallway clear, checking the bedrooms. Through the phone, I heard Margot's car door unlock. The sound was distinct. Margot, did you just unlock your door? No, I didn't touch anything. The door opened. I heard it clearly. Margot, get out of the car. Run. Run now. But she wasn't screaming, wasn't running. She was silent. Then her voice, strange and flat. Quinn. She's here. Who's there? The woman. She's standing next to my car, looking at me through the window. What does she look like? Like me. Exactly like me. Same hair, same face, same blue jacket. She's smiling. Through the radio, Whitlock. Dispatch, I've cleared the entire house. No one here. No signs of forced entry. Everything looks normal. Through the phone, Margot. She's opening my car door. I can't move. Why can't I move? Margot, get out of the car. She's sitting down in the driver's seat next to me. We're sitting right next to each other. She's still smiling. Deputy Whitlock, the caller is outside in her vehicle. There may be a second individual with her. Whitlock came outside, through the radio. Dispatch, I'm at the vehicle now. Toyota Camry, blue. Driver's side door is open, but there's no one inside. Say again? The car is empty. No one's here. Through the phone, I could still hear Margot breathing. Margot, where are you? I'm in the car, right here. The woman is next to me. She's talking now. What is she saying? She's saying, She's saying she's been waiting for me, that she's been in my house for 3 weeks, living my life, sleeping in my bed, wearing my clothes, and now that I'm here, she can leave. Margot, Deputy Whitlock is right there. He's looking at your car. Wave to him. I'm waving right at him, but he's not seeing me. He's looking right through the car like it's empty. Whitlock radioed in. Dispatch, no sign of the caller. Her car is here, engine's still running, doors open. But she's not in it. Not in the immediate area either. I'm checking the perimeter. Through the phone, Margot started crying. She's getting out of the car now, the other me. She's walking toward the deputy. She's talking to him. I could hear it through Whitlock's radio. A woman's voice. Officer, I'm Margot Aldridge. I live here. Is something wrong? Whitlock's response. Ma'am, did you call 911? No, I just got home. Why would I call 911? Through the phone, the real Margot, at least I thought she was the real Margot, sobbed. She's lying. I'm right here. I called. Tell him I called. Deputy Whitlock, I still have the caller on the line. She says she's in the vehicle. Dispatch, I'm looking at the vehicle. It's empty, and the homeowner is standing right here with me. The woman, who claimed to be Margot, spoke again, her voice carrying through Whitlock's radio. I don't know who called, officer, but it wasn't me. I just got home from my sister's house. Maybe it was a prank call? Can I see your ID, ma'am? Through the radio, I heard papers rustling. Here, driver's license, registration, both in my name. Through the phone, my Margot whispered, Those are mine. She has my ID, the one that was missing from my wallet. How does she have it? Whitlock seemed satisfied. Everything appears to be in order, Miss Aldridge. Probably was a prank call. False address. But since I'm here, would you like me to check inside? Make sure everything's secure? No, that's all right. I'm sure everything's fine. Thank you, officer. Through the phone. No. Don't let him leave. Please, Quinn. Don't let him leave me here. But Whitlock was already getting back in his patrol car. Dispatch, clearing the scene. False alarm. Homeowner is safe and secure. Copy that. Through the phone, I listened as the other Margot walked into the house. Heard the front door close. Heard the locks engage. My Margot was still on the line, still in the car, or wherever she was. She took my life, Margot said quietly. She lived in my house for 3 weeks, learned everything about me, and now she's taken my place, and no one can see me anymore. Margot, I can hear you. You're still here. Am I? Or am I just an echo? A voice on a phone? Where are you right now? What do you see? I'm still sitting in my car, but everything's wrong. The colors are faded. Everything's gray except me and the house. The house still looks normal. I can see her through the window. The other me. She's making tea in my kitchen, using my favorite mug. Margot, try to get out of the car. Try to go to a neighbor's house. I heard her try, heard the struggle. I can't. I can open the door, but when I try to step out, I'm back in the driver's seat. It's like I'm stuck here, anchored to this spot. Over the next hour, I tried everything. Sent Whitlock back twice, but each time he saw only the other Margot, the imposter living Margot's life. I tried conferencing in my supervisor. He couldn't hear Margot at all. Just silence on the line. Only you can hear me, Margot said. I don't know why, but you're the only one. I stayed on the line with her until my shift ended at 7 a.m. Told my supervisor I'd handle the handoff, but when I tried to transfer the call, the same thing happened as with every other dispatcher. They heard nothing. Margot was connected only to me. I went home but kept my cell phone on. The call transferred to my personal line. Department policy violation, but I couldn't just abandon her. For 3 days, I listened to Margot's life, or what was left of it. She watched as the imposter went to her job at the bank. "She's good at it," Margot said. "Better than I was, actually. She remembers all the customers' names." She watched as the imposter had dinner with Margot's sister. "Sarah can't tell the difference. They're laughing together. They used to laugh like that with me." She watched as the imposter sorted through Margot's mail, paid her bills, lived her life with perfect competence. "It's like I was never here," Margot said on the fourth day. "She's me now, better me, and I'm just... what am I? A voice on a phone call that won't end? You're still real, Margot. I can hear you. Can you, though? Really? Or are you just hearing what you expect to hear? Maybe the call dropped days ago and you've been talking to silence." I'd wondered that myself. Late at night, alone in my apartment, I'd wonder if I was losing my mind, if the stress of the job had finally cracked something in me. But then Margot would say something I couldn't have known. Details about her life, her memories, things the imposter wouldn't know because she'd only been there 3 weeks. "I remember when I bought that mug," Margot said once, "the blue one she's using. I was on vacation in Seattle with my ex-husband, before the divorce. We were still happy then, I think, or pretending to be. We saw the mug in a gift shop and argued about whether it was worth $12 for a coffee mug. He said no. I bought it anyway, used it every morning for 8 years. She paused. "That woman in my house wearing my face, she uses the mug but she doesn't know its story. She doesn't know why it matters." Days turned into weeks. Margot remained in her car, or in whatever space she occupied that looked like her car. The imposter continued living Margot's life. And I continued answering the call my supervisor noticed. "Quinn, you look exhausted. When's the last time you took a day off?" "I'm fine." "You're not fine. You're talking to yourself. I've seen you. At your desk, having full conversations with no one. I'm on a call." "There's no call, Quinn. I've checked your console. You've been logging phantom calls for 3 weeks. I couldn't explain. Couldn't make them understand. So I stopped trying. I took a leave of absence. Mental health, they called it. Paid time off to recover. But I didn't stop answering Margot's calls. At home, I kept the line open 24/7. She was always there, always watching the imposter live her life. "She's selling my car," Margot told me one morning. "Getting a newer model. She's more financially savvy than I was." "Does that bother you?" "It should, but mostly I'm just tired. How long can I exist like this, just watching, just talking to you?" "I don't know. 2 months in, something changed." "Quinn, she's fading." "What do you mean?" "The other me, the imposter, I can see through her sometimes, like she's becoming transparent." "What do you think that means?" "I don't know. But I can feel something pulling at me, like gravity. Pulling me toward the house. Don't go in there, Margot. I don't think I have a choice." Over the next week, I listened as Margot was drawn slowly back into her house. The pull was irresistible, she said, like being reeled in on a line. I'm in the hallway now, standing right next to her, to me, the imposter. She can't see me, but I'm right here. What's she doing? She's on the phone, calling my sister, making plans for dinner tomorrow. Her voice sounds wrong now, hollow, like she's an echo too. The next day, I'm in the kitchen. She's making tea, using my blue mug. Her hands are shaking. I don't think she feels well. The day after, Quinn, I think I understand now. She wasn't real. She was never real. She was just a possibility. A version of me that could have existed if I'd made different choices. And she existed because I called 911 that night. Because I saw her and gave her form, gave her shape. That doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. But I'm looking at her and I can see it now. She's made of the same stuff I am. We're both echoes, both possibilities. The only difference is she's inside and I'm outside. What happens now? I think we're merging. I can feel it. She's fading, and I'm being pulled in, and soon there won't be a her and a me, just me. Or her. Or something in between. 3 days later, the call quality changed. Static grew louder. Margot's voice became intermittent. "Quinn, can you hear me?" "Barely." "Margot, what's happening?" "I'm inside now, fully inside, in the house, in my body, but it doesn't feel right. Like wearing clothes that don't quite fit." She changed things, small things, the way I stand, the way I smile. And now I can't remember which version was really me. "Margot, I have to go. I can't. The phone is too heavy. I need to hang up." "Don't hang up." "Thank you, Quinn, for listening, for staying with me. I hope I remember this, remember you, but I don't think I will. In a few minutes, I'll just be Margot Aldridge, living my life, and none of this will have happened. Margot, please, goodbye." The line went dead. I tried calling back immediately. The call went through. A woman answered. "Hello? Margot, is that you?" "Yes. Who is this?" "It's Quinn. Quinn Ashmore from 911. "I'm sorry. I don't understand. Why are you calling me?" "You don't remember? The call? The 3 weeks? I think you have the wrong number. I haven't called 911. I could hear the confusion in her voice. Genuine confusion, not deception. "Margot, 2 months ago, you called 911. You saw someone in your house." No, I would remember that. "Are you sure you have the right person?" 2156 Wexford Drive, Margot Aldridge. A pause. "Yes, that's me. But I really haven't called 911. Is this about something else? Is there some kind of emergency?" She didn't remember. Didn't remember me, the call, any of it. She was just Margot Aldridge, living her life. Whole and complete and utterly unaware that for 2 months she'd existed as a voice on a phone, watching an imposter live her life while she was trapped outside. "I'm sorry," I said. "Wrong number." I hung up, sat in my apartment staring at my phone. Had any of it been real? Or had I imagined the whole thing? I checked my call logs. The call to Margot Aldridge's number showed 3 minutes. Just the initial emergency call on that first night. Nothing more. But I remembered months of conversation. Remembered her voice, her stories, her fear. I went back to work the next week. Everyone was relieved to see me looking better. "Feeling rested?" my supervisor asked. "Yes." "Good, we've missed you. Quiet just isn't the same without you on nights." I settled back into my routine, answered calls, dispatched officers, saved lives when I could. But sometimes, late at night, I'd see it. A car in a driveway, door open, engine running, empty, and I'd wonder, how many Margos are out there? How many people are trapped just outside their lives, watching imposters take their places? How many voices are calling that only I can hear? I don't know. But I keep answering. Because maybe Margot was right. Maybe she was just an echo, a possibility that existed because someone observed it. Or maybe she was real, and she merged back into herself. And now she's living a life that's half hers and half someone else's. Or maybe I imagined all of it. The only evidence I have is the memory. And memories are unreliable, especially at 2:14 a.m., especially when you've spent years listening to voices in the dark. But last week I got a call. 911, what's your emergency? Someone's in my house. A woman's voice, mid-40s, scared but controlled. Ma'am, are you safe? Are you in the house? No, I'm outside, in my car. And I felt it. That same chill. What's your name, ma'am? She told me. A different name, a different address. But the same story. The same shadow in the window. The same imposter wearing her clothes. I dispatched an officer, but I already knew how it would end. The officer would find nothing. The imposter would answer the door. And this woman would fade, become an echo, a voice only I could hear. It's happening again, and I'm the only one who knows, the only one who listens. Because that's what I do. I answer the calls that no one else can hear. From people who exist in the space between here and gone, between real and imagined. And I stay on the line, even when I know I can't help, even when I know they'll forget. I stay on the line because someone should bear witness, someone should remember, even if I'm the only one.